You are now tuned in to the new Old Heads podcast, brought to you by BringingDownTheBand.com. No bad ideas, Coleman Dental and Printfinity. I am Major 7th. I make beats. I have the t-shirts and hoodies to prove it. It's one to my left, just in case y'all want to know what they look like.
Got one on right now.
We see you, Spoolz.
Right now.
Okay. Oh, man. This guy sitting directly in front of me.
It's the Halloween episode.
Yes. We can call him the curator.
I don't have one in my uniform.
I might either, but it's going to be funny. We can call him the curator.
My
Longevity.
phone's not on yet.
What's up, sir?
Hi.
It's pretty dry. Caddy corner.
Oh, you said what's up?
Yeah.
You know.
Don't worry about it.
Ceiling, you know.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Sky high.
The ones we can depend on. Diagonal. Caddy corner. DJ Jay Diff.
Salutations.
What's up, sir? How you doing, man?
Pimp, Trick, Gangsta, Click albums. That fire.
We're going to leave it at that.
Yep.
Immediately to my left, the incomparable DJ Spoolz.
Hello, Michael.
How are you, sir?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing pretty good, man. Got your Notre Dame gear on. Looks like they're doing well.
They are, man.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Yeah, okay. Perhaps Final Four appearance, perhaps.
They got to
They got to
win
win out, right?
4 games, man.
Okay.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
I mean, yep.
I can't look at him. Yeah, you know, I know a lot of actual Notre Dame fans, including Spoolz, so kind of get happy for them.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, they got a huge fan base. So
They're solid, man. They're really good. Defense. I was at the game Saturday.
Very solid.
Was it
Defense was good.
sold out?
Oh yeah, they all sell out.
Okay. What's the ticket?
Yeah,
I ain't trying to get in your pockets. What's the ticket price for one of those places? Down low now. I'm talking about field level.
Right, that is season tickets,
Okay.
and they're 36 the row.
Uh-huh.
So it's still, I mean, it's on like the benches, but it's fairly low.
We'll take
And
that.
those are about $1.50.
Okay.
$1.50 is not too bad.
Yeah.
A
University's
ticket. He go to every game.
The home games.
Mhm.
He sells some tickets,
Wow.
Ain't mad at
but
that.
he doesn't make money. I mean, he just does face value, like what he paid for them. So
Hey,
to a few people, it's 6 or 7 home games each year.
Hmm.
hey JT.
It sucks, dude, going to a game in like November. I mean, it's fun. It's always a good time, but it gets cold there.
Yeah, I'm cool
Like,
on that.
I mean, it was
Yeah, I'm
cold
probably straight
Saturday,
on
man.
that.
There were little flurries. Like,
Right.
Yeah, this ain't Rudy. I'm straight.
Nah,
I'm straight on that.
cool.
Hey, J Diff,
What up?
what's Notre Dame making?
That paper.
they just did some renovations.
They making that paper.
Yes,
So
sir.
that might make it even more, huh? Got to pay for the renovations.
Are they going to change the mascot from the Irish guy to the Hunchback?
Wow.
Not that I've heard, but that'd be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
That'd be
boosters.
something.
You can get a lot of boosters like nah.
Little ugly fellow on the side of the helmet.
Hunched over.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Episode 53. This starts our new calendar year.
53.
It does.
I don't have a 53. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't. So I don't know who wore 53 at any point.
Bill Romanowski.
Bill
No,
Romanowski. We don't want that.
I couldn't do that, no.
Okay.
I don't even think he was 53.
Sean and I looked it up. You found Daryl Dawkins.
Daryl
Yeah.
Dawkins.
Artist Gilmore.
Chocolate Thunder. Yeah.
buddy.
Artist
Gilmore
Gilmore
for-
played for the Bulls.
Chocolate Thunder, Chocolate Doctor, the document.
George Papadopoulos. Oh, that's
George
later.
Papadopoulos.
That's actually the lyrics.
Thank you, man.
Chocolate Doctor, the document. Listen to my father.
Bitch.
P.
That was great.
Thanks.
They didn't even rehearse or practice.
I know, right?
Yeah, I know,
Not
right?
at all.
So we're going to go with Daryl Dawkins, or we're going to do the Bulls and
I'm
Gilmore?
rocking with Daryl Dawkins.
I think Daryl Dawkins. I like Daryl Dawkins.
Did y'all y'all
DD.
see the movie The Wizard? Y'all remember The Wizard?
No.
Y'all don't remember The
I don't
Wizard?
think so.
I don't know.
That sounds like a movie you can get at the
The
gas
video
station.
game movie
You can get
with
it the
the
gas station.
Power
Yeah.
Glove and stuff.
Yeah, where they
Oh.
traveled to Las Vegas or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
His-
wherever they
his,
went.
his little brother,
Or-
Fred Savage's little brother. Was
Oh,
like,
yeah. I do remember that now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I ain't seen The Wizard. I'm like, what the?
I'm thinking of like, I don't know what I was thinking. What's that got to do with Daryl Dawkins?
I think
Nothing.
he was in that movie. That's the
Oh,
reason why I
okay.
brought it up.
Okay.
I think he taught them how to shoot blackjack. I think
do-
that was him.
What do you think, Bradley? Was he in the movie?
Y'all don't even
don't know.
remember the name of the movie.
I don't know. We can look it up.
Yeah,
I thought it was a
gas
y'all
station.
was-
I thought it was a gas
y'all
station.
Gas
80s and
station
90s
movie?
babies.
I thought it was a gas station movie.
Y'all acting like y'all some
He's like,
2K
yeah,
babies.
let's name the episode the Daryl Dawkins episode.
Yep.
And Terry's like, have y'all seen that movie, The Wizard? I got it at the Shell station one time.
Yeah, I was just
The Wizard
Talking
might
about
be
nothing.
sold at a gas station now, but it's a good movie from
Yeah.
our childhood, I'd say.
Clearly, he's seen it, knows the words and everything. So, I think
act
Lone's
like
looking it up.
y'all act like y'all didn't know what the Wizard was. That's like what introduced Mario, like part 3 or something, when he had the tail.
Did it?
Wow.
Y'all tripping, man.
Mario
Oh.
3 was dope.
I don't
It
think he
was.
was in that.
Daryl Dawkins wasn't
who
in
was
there?
the guy in there?
So there was another tall black guy that showed him how
He
to play
played
Jack,
sports.
blackjack.
It was-
Okay.
yeah,
That
that's
narrows
why.
it. That narrows it down.
That's
I was just asking.
Was
I
it
ain't-
Too
I'm
Tall
asking.
Jones?
yeah.
That's a good call. Probably not.
He was
right,
in
but-
he was in random stuff. He acted in random like
Yeah.
movies and stuff. Like he was in an episode of one, if not more, of Married with Children.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Well, Lone will probably find out.
Well,
Yeah. I think we should probably just move on.
I think
yeah,
so.
we can move on.
Probably should have moved on.
45. 45. Hate to say it, but we're starting off the next calendar year with 45. So, I'm going to go to the article here forwarded to me by Bradley Spoolz. I missed this one, so y'all bear with me here. I got a paragraph. It says, in court records unsealed on Monday, the FBI said George Papadopoulos, the IHU, falsely described his interactions with a certain foreign contact who discussed dirt related to emails concerning Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton. Records also describe an email between Trump campaign officials suggesting they were considering acting on Russian invitations to go to Russia. And it also says, in addition, former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort and former Trump campaign official Rick Gates, don't do that, surrendered Monday to Justice Department Special Counsel Robert Mueller. So, long story short, looks like 45 is wrapped in more corruption, Spoolz.
Yeah, man, the circus continues. It seems just with this whole him being president. I saw I saw a thing also of I read an article today that it said on Facebook. He said like Facebook reported that they estimate roughly 126 million Americans saw like Russian influenced posts during the election.
Wow.
And by Russian influenced, I guess I mean Russian made or Russian influenced, like, you know, whatever Russia was doing to try to, you know, impact or affect the
sway,
the you know.
Yeah.
So
Like they
it's
were
just-
even
it's just-
saying too that like Trump, his intelligence corps or whatever, knew all of this going in. So like during those debates when he would say talking about Hillary Clinton's emails and stuff like that,
Right.
there was things that they knew. So he was pretty much saying that because he already knew
Right.
what they were on.
Right.
So obviously they were connected in some way.
That's crazy, man.
It's just strange that in, you know, 2016, Russia was trying to influence the United States election. Maybe I'm just being naive. Maybe outside countries have always had an impact on that stuff. You know what I mean? Like I guess I'm critical of our system. You know what I mean? So I haven't always been very engaged in it, and that's my fault. But, you know, maybe it's naive to think this hasn't already happened before, and this is just somebody getting caught, you know?
I would fall on that side with Spoolz, on the naive side, because it's kind of weird to think about someone could possibly have, you know, the ability to affect something of this magnitude. But, you know, I kind of sit back, I'm like, damn, this might be an actual possibility. And then you look at it on its face value, and it's like at the end of the day, the results were what they were. So something works somewhere. Now,
It's
what
just-
said something is,
It's just
We don't
always
know.
something with this guy. It seems
Yeah.
like so.
Yeah, and then didn't he actually? Wasn't there a quote from him that said, "I'll be cleared" or something like that? Shout out to Boomerang. Wasn't there something that
What are you doing?
he's doing boomerangs for Instagram?
Like, yeah, you know the built-in stuff they have for Halloween.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff is really hilarious.
Yeah.
So sorry, continue.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So you two.
Yeah.
But no, man, it's crazy. You know, there was a quote because I saw Angela Rye. She was on CNN, and she's like, "Why is he already saying that he's cleared?" So is there that opens up the floodgates for conspiracy right there for him to actually say, "Yeah, I'm cleared." You know, before this stuff even comes down, like there's so much bull that's going on. It's like, what do you actually believe? What do you put stock into? What's, you know what I mean? What's official? What's believable? What's real?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a scary sight, man. It's a scary sight because we actually don't know. I don't. If y'all know anything that I don't, please put me on game. I haven't the slightest.
No.
Hey,
So,
It's a show, man.
they
Clown
are
show.
who we thought they were.
yeah.
We let them off the hook.
Rest in peace, Denny Green, because that's exactly how I feel right now.
Yeah.
Man, I still remember that game too.
I do too.
That
Watched
bit-
it.
Yeah,
He
the
was
Bears
on
were
the-
down like 28-7.
He
like
hadn't
a
gone
whole-
to the Cardinals yet, right? He was still the Vikings coach, right?
No, that was the
He
Cardinals.
Oh, was that the Cardinals?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the Matt Leinart
Okay.
Cardinals.
It was
One of
like
the most overrated players ever, Matt
Yeah.
Leinart.
Bears just scored like all defense and special team scores.
Hester,
Yeah.
probably my favorite, one of my favorite Bears of all time.
Yeah.
I hope he comes back. There's always those talks every offseason he's going to, but
Devin Hester had he had a run where it was just like amazing. Like I'm talking about like in terms of returning, it was like prime time amazing. Like
he set the record, I think, for most in a career.
he broke Dion's record,
Yeah.
which says
Neon Dion.
all you need to know, really.
Mm-hmm.
So dude was electrifying. We still kicked that ass in the Super Bowl, but
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
come on, man.
We did.
He didn't kick our ass, that's for sure.
P Money put that work in.
That was like an 11-point game.
P Money
Yeah.
put that work in.
Hester showed up.
And we
My
scored
first play.
the first
First
play of
play.
the game. That was awesome.
P Money put that work in.
I had that Nathan Vasher jersey back then.
Oh, yeah.
P
Asher
Money
was a beast, man. That defense was good.
Yeah.
P Money put that work in the rain. Don't get it twisted.
Come on, man.
He did.
Yeah.
He played okay.
Like that.
Tell him what he did. Like that.
Like
Not
that.
as not like
Don't
not as,
do
not
it.
as bad as he did in that
Don't do it,
Saints
Spoolz.
Super Bowl, or as bad as he played in that Denver Super Bowl that they won.
You know
Bears
what?
haven't been back since, though. Huh?
You know what's crazy about it?
Did the Colts
They haven't. They haven't
Yeah.
been back. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, the Colts haven't won since one, so it's fine.
P Money did, though. Huh?
sure did. And everybody that says
That defense won it.
everybody says P Money was
He had a
P-
worse game than Trent Dilfer.
P Money was whack in the Super Bowl, but they got the same defense and they can't get back to the Super Bowl. Interesting.
Yeah. Huh?
From what I was told, you can just insert said quarterback and they'll go back to the Super Bowl. It's been a while.
Oh no, I don't think anybody said that.
Not you, Spool.
And they lost a lot of pieces from that defense.
Sure they did.
Mm-hmm.
They're still the number one scoring defense,
Danny
if I'm not
Trevathan.
mistaken. Still got Harris. They still got Talib. They still got Von Miller.
No
They're still-
Trevathan,
They're still loaded,
no
Spools.
Jackson.
They told me Von Miller won a Super Bowl, yet they haven't been back since they lost to God. I'm just saying, you know. Best
Peyton
game,
was great at like almost getting there.
game against Pittsburgh. They don't go
That
to
defense though, man.
Great defense. Still have it. We'll see.
I haven't seen anything this year.
Nor have I been.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go to Halloween.
You're not missing a whole lot.
You're
to be
not.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
Spools was talking about the lack of.
Yeah, I feel like there's like 5 good teams.
Yeah. So we'll see.
5 or 6 maybe.
I want to do Halloween real quick. We kind of talked about this.
Since we on sports, though, real quick, too.
Yes, sir. Take it, brother.
The comment made by the Texans,
Mm.
was that the owner?
Owner.
I was the owner.
McNair, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What did he say? Something about the inmates?
We can't let the inmates run the prison.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about racial undertones.
Yeah.
Especially because that's not actually the same.
Yeah. How? Let's see. So he's
Like the
saying,
same as like the asylum or something or something. Like
he said that we can't let the prisoners run the prison, right?
Inmates run the
Or
prison.
inmates. I'm
Inmates
sorry.
run,
something
yeah.
like that.
I misspoke. I'm sorry. Inmates run the prison.
Yeah.
So you really want to use that as a comparison or analogy for your football players.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
His relationship with his minority, we're gonna say minority.
His minority?
With his minority players will never be the same after that.
Well,
DeAndre Hopkins
still
walked
play?
out. He walked out.
Did he play on Sunday?
He did. I stand corrected.
Well, this is what I'm going to say, man.
Talk to me now. I need it.
This shit is whack. I don't care.
Kneeling.
I don't care
Let's clarify.
how much money you are going to pay me.
Okay.
You are not about to sun me like that and have me show up to work suited and booted like, let's get it.
Okay.
Nah, we're not doing that.
Okay.
If they was for real about wanting to make a change in this league, they wouldn't show up. Who cares about your record, especially if you're not that good anyway right now?
To Skip Bayless's
stay
point,
home.
Skip Bayless
What are they going to do? If the whole team does not show up, or you got like a defensive end and a punt return kicker or even a kicker,
right?
What is that? What good is that going to do?
That would be epic.
Yeah.
Epic is like,
like if a whole team just didn't show up.
Yeah.
When you talk about,
why aren't they
pretty
doing
wild?
Because we all know what it's about. Like the owners are about the bottom line. Period. You can disguise it by kneeling before the national anthem. You can do all that bullshit you want.
Because they ain't even kneeling now. They just locking arms or something.
At the end of the day, though, Jerry Jones is about that paper. So when he knelt before the game and then they stood up for the national anthem, I'm like, this is bullshit. I don't have. There's no substance to this. And he continues to prove it by saying, one, his players are going to stand for the anthem. He's not addressing Trump. And everything is about the bread. Like, it's about the bread. So to your point, to hurt the owners, you don't show up. Because that ultimately has the biggest effect on the bottom line. Period.
Can you imagine, like, a team not showing up, all the fans going to the stadium?
Dude.
That's
Think
killer.
about that, man.
If you really wanted to make an impact and stand for something, you would go ahead and do something like that.
It's got to be big.
It's past the demonstration stage.
Yeah.
It's past that. Now we have to have, when I say we, I'm just saying, in terms of players or whatever. But there has to be something of magnitude. Like, it has to be something huge for it to truly be felt. Because they're brushing off the kneeling now. You spin it and put it on the flag, that takes away from what the actual cause is. And now it's just like we just continue to push it under the rug.
Right.
So
even from an NBA point of view, they locked out like a couple times, right?
Yeah.
Because they couldn't get it right. And that was more monetarily.
But still, they had the balls to lock out.
But they still was like, we
baseball
ain't playing.
did too.
Yeah, baseball. We're not playing until y'all get this right. So this is pretty much the same thing. Well, it's actually bigger than that because it's more about I'm not going to just let you pay me and you can say whatever you want to me.
The players' union for the NBA is twice that of the NFL.
Why is that?
The reason I said, you know what?
Twice what?
When I say twice, I mean twice in terms of impact.
Okay.
Like, when you think about Chris Paul, he's the head of the Players Association. You got dudes like LeBron. Like, it's not regular guys. It's the heavy hitters that are going into these meetings. It will be the equivalent of Brady or Rodgers or something like that, standing up and going into meetings being like, yo, fuck that, we not playing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it's going to take. It can't be the third string running back like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, we not playing, because that's not going to impact them. You know what I mean? It's about to me, in my opinion, it's about the names.
I think it's the action of actually locking out that speaks more than
that's fair.
Who's saying it.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I mean, I feel what you're saying, but I think at the end of the day, that person's just kind of the mouthpiece for the.
I'm just speaking
the
from
sentiment, the overall sentiment of the players is
I can
ideally
dig
what
that.
that person
I can dig that.
Because
I can dig that.
if you could have a mediocre team, if they don't show up to work on Sunday,
It still affects them.
it's still affecting
That's
like
fair.
a lot of people.
That's fair.
A lot of revenue is getting affected by that.
I can
Because
dig that.
not only did the players not show up, you had, to his point, or somebody said, you said that, I believe, you got people showing up at the game, the
Yeah,
fans.
Yeah.
They're probably going to have to get them fans their money back.
Which is a headache. That process is a headache in itself.
Definitely.
Yep.
So you lost all that money.
Yep.
Now you're scrambling trying to figure out what to do.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know, man. What
I
would
dig
you
it,
do in a situation like around
I
the room?
dig
What
it.
would y'all do if you were in the NFL right now and you felt strongly about the protest or whatnot, and you're in a good position to where you can be like, I'm just not going to play on Sunday.
I want to go to Lone. What's your reaction if you put yourself in that mindset?
If I'm a Tom Brady versus am I the guy in the practice squad who gets to play next week? You know, I think that probably plays into it.
That's fair. It's kind of.
I would sit.
Tough.
No, I would sit. I
You would sit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I don't. What's gonna? I mean, what do I have to lose at that point? I mean, at that point, you're just. Especially if you're a big name player, if you are a Tom Brady, if you are a Peyton Manning or a Aaron Rodgers or a. Notice I'm naming white quarterbacks. I think it has a different type of impact depending on what type of player you are.
So
Didn't think about that.
Just to clarify too,
Yeah, so
we're
what's the
also
question again?
talking about two different things.
What's the question again?
Mike was talking about who represented the NFL
Yes.
Players Association versus the NBA Players Association, and my
Right.
point was that it didn't matter. It's just a representative piece.
Right.
Like
You're
it's
right.
just a mouthpeace, the person who's delivering the
The
overall
message.
sentiment
Right.
of the
For-
players
for the
themselves.
union.
But
Exactly.
to your point, if you're saying that if one of those types of guys were to sit out, it would have a bigger impact than the third string running back, I would completely agree with that. Yes.
Yeah,
That's what
I was
that's what
also
I was
I was
initially
also
going
speaking
for.
on the impact though, too, or what I would do. You know, like if I'm somebody that's been in the league for years and I've been saving my money or whatever,
Mhm.
you know, I probably would react differently. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what I would be like if I was in that position, if I was that player. You know,
So,
because I don't
yeah.
know that life, but. I know right now that I wouldn't go to a job, and I would probably not walk into my job if I felt like, or I would position myself to get out of that job.
Right.
And
If
I've
they
done
stood
that.
for-
And
if
I've
they
done that
stood for
before.
something that you didn't
and I've
believe
done that
in.
before. So
Okay.
now, granted, it wasn't an instant process, but you know,
Gradual.
But it wasn't something also at the same time that was as blatant as
Right.
you know. So I don't know. I feel like somebody needs to take a stand, but you know, what would I do? I don't know. I probably wouldn't play.
The gray area, for me, the gray area is, to his point, the situation, because I think sometimes we lose sight of these guys being actual people and providers for families. Also, now,
And also just human
There's-
beings in general.
There's one other point. There's one other point that I want to mention too. Not to
Go
cut
ahead.
off, but
not good.
damn, I lost it. I would have to factor in what I would want in return. So if I'm going to sit out, what is going to garner me to want to come back?
Okay.
What is a reasonable outcome for whoever to do something for me to come back playing?
Versus just saying,
Or do
I'm
you
done.
or
and-
do you just walk out? You know,
Right,
like
right,
that's
okay.
the decision too. Like
Okay.
so if you just sit out a game or two until something happens,
Right.
well what are we trying to accomplish here? With something with McNair,
Yeah.
what do you do there? He's the owner, he's got
Yeah.
the money anyways, he owns the team. Do you try to force him like the Clippers thing and try to sell the team? You know,
I think what Donald Sterling said was, I mean, both things were very bad.
Right.
But I think Donald Sterling's conversation was a bit more revealing than what,
to an extent.
because
I think
mean,
it was more
in all-
blunt. I
in
think it
all-
was more blunt.
In
It
all
was
honesty,
more,
there's
Blunt is a word.
I think the
would
language was
use.
different, but I think the language was different because one was
Same
a statement.
sentiments?
One was a statement made. The other was like captured audio. You know.
Same sentiments, though.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing, and so they pushed him out, and then. So I mean, I
So,
guess
Spoolz,
depends-
are you saying the Donald Sterling thing is, I guess, the audio enhanced the power of the
I'm
comments?
saying that
Or just
What he
or
actually
the,
said.
or
what
they're
he
watched,
actually
yeah.
what actually came out of his mouth.
Oh, you're saying just the words
now
themselves.
the fact that this was a recorded conversation versus a statement to the media is extremely revealing too, because most people wouldn't say to the media what Donald Sterling was saying to that
Yeah,
lady.
absolutely.
It's-
Well, nobody would.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
So
Facts.
now the question, it's not really a question, but like you guys said, the sentiment was the same, and I agree to an extent. There's white players on that team too, and probably a decent amount of white. You know what I mean? So, but what he is guilty of, what Bob McNair is guilty of, in my mind, is what a lot of people like Bob McNair are guilty of when it comes to things like this, and that's having no cultural understanding of anything outside of yourself.
There, yeah, and that could be,
And you're in an influential position.
Yeah.
and that's bigger than race.
That by all means,
As well.
and I will say that compared to the population of the United, I think the NFL is 70. Did I hear 70% African American at one point?
Has to
Something
be.
like that.
Has to be.
Right. So, like Bob McNair doesn't factor that in before he before he says something like that, and then that goes even deeper into the way he thinks. Now, I just think, I don't know, man.
But that goes into what I'm saying. Like, what's the outcome
Get my
that
headphones right.
what's the outcome that
bucket.
we like? If I'm gonna sit out, or I'm gonna say, you know what, I'm done with the NFL.
Right.
What's gonna make a bigger impact? Is it gonna be if I say I'm done or is it gonna
Come on,
make a bigger
Terrence, don't do
impact if I say I'm gonna sit out until,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
if I do sit out until, what am I
These
expecting?
players could
Well,
actually get
Right.
together and create their own league,
Facts.
or they could get an investor. Because I heard that
Master
Puffy,
P was in it
Master
on
P.
it too.
yeah, we're considering possibly starting a league of some kind.
They could
People don't
Fund
they
it.
don't realize the power that they have as the players.
facts.
And I think
True.
that's the problem with the NFL, because that's a difference between the NFL and NBA too. Their careers aren't as long as those NBA players,
Right.
and their contracts aren't definite either,
As guaranteed.
those-
Guaranteed bread, yeah.
NBA players. But at the same time, you can't just sit back and be run over like that just because you're in the NFL. I mean, I know you strive for that your whole
Yeah.
life. That's how
Yeah.
you could think, I want to play in the NFL, but at the same time, you're a man at the end of the day.
That's you make a good point though, man. And
Okay.
I think that's something that we haven't touched on yet is the fact that this is a game
Yeah.
It's a game.
that people grow up loving to play.
idolizing
Like
players.
the job that I have, I was thinking about
Yeah.
like what you were saying. Like at my job right now, if something like this were to happen and there was like everything that's happened in the NFL has happened at my job, yeah, I'd quit. But I can, you know what I mean? Like I'd be
Right.
okay for a while, So, but an NFL, like I'm not doing what am passionate about right now, though.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
these are guys that grew up.
This is what they do.
Yeah, they've been wanting to play probably football since they were really, really young, and like they're realizing a dream by being in the NFL.
Yeah, and I don't see any fault in that. But at
It's
the same
unfortunate
time,
that it's come
just,
that all this, that things are the way they are.
Mhm.
And this like this has been bubbling and brewing for. I mean, it's a microcosm of our country in a lot of ways.
This is why we say it's the system, because the NFL is a system. It's like a country in itself. It's an establishment.
They have their own
You
set
know,
of
it's like
rules,
it's
laws,
like
everything. Yeah.
like our country. Like if you're a
Yeah.
musician, you can branch off and you can do things yourself. If you're
Yeah.
a football player, you are dependent upon the system to make your money.
they have their own
so
set of guidelines. They got everything.
It's completely
Yeah.
different. So the issue is the system
Yeah.
of sorts. It's not the game.
Yeah.
Nobody's protesting the game. Or
Right.
nobody's protesting the flag or
Right.
any of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
system that's in place.
I
So,
agree.
kind of like the system we live in America right
That's
now.
why I just said it was a microcosm
Right.
for our country.
That's where I figured you
Mhm.
were going.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Speaking of America, had something interesting that happened to me the other day,
Oh yeah.
and
Talk
Yeah.
that talk.
yeah, I'm gonna talk that talk real quick. So, I walk into a Five Below dollar store, Carmel area, and
Let them know what it's a dollar store for those that don't
yeah,
know.
it's a dollar store kind
Like,
of
For caramel people.
yeah, it's
No, it's
a higher end dollar store. if you
everything
will.
is $5 and below, right?
Yeah, that's what they say. So
Entendres.
yeah, I see you. We see you. So I walked into the store and there's a lady at the front and she says, "Hello," real monotone, melancholy. Hi. Continues to look down. Cool. You don't have to greet me. I came here to get an aux cord. So I'm walking around. I walked wrong. Like I walked towards the back. I clearly missed this huge ass wall that had aux cords hanging on it.
I'm not surprised.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. But I walk back and I realize I'm in the wrong area. So I look up and I'm like, damn, where are the aux cords at? And I look up and I see her still continuing to look at me, try to find the aux cords. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to steal anything out of a Five Below, I don't think. But I'm going to ignore that. We're going to play it
Well,
off.
see, you weren't sure.
I wasn't sure. Maybe I'm a thief. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I would have hit him up for something.
It's like a
Clearly.
lawyer, it's like a lawyer
Yeah.
thing.
But so I
Maybe I'm a thief. I don't know.
Yeah.
so I feel somebody looking at me, but it's cool. I'm gonna shrug it off. I've been there before. You know, I've experienced this before. So I find my aux cord, go up to the front. She brings me up, and I'm getting my aux cord. She says, "Hey, do you want to donate $1 to the Riley Children's Fund or something?" I said, "Yeah, get that comic book right there. It's a Batman comic book. I'll pay for that, and then you can throw it in your toy bin." She was like, "Cool." So in the meantime, she's kind of giving me half-ass customer service, like, "Do you want to donate to whatever, blah, blah, blah?" I said, "Cool. Your customer service is trash, but I still want to help the kids out." So I take that. I said, "Go ahead and throw that in there." So I hear from the outside on the highway on 31, there's a police siren that goes off in a police car. And the lady says, "Uh-oh, they're coming for you." And then she has a half-ass laugh and continues to look down. Now, this is not the laugh of, I'm a judge of character, good character, I believe. When we joke around and stuff, there's a sense of us joking around. This lady, the same lady that gave me a trash greeting, the same lady that was watching me when I was walking through the store, says, "Oh, they're coming for you." I'm like, "Nah, they're not coming for me. Thank you. Have a nice day." Now, I was very offended by that because I don't think she would have said that had Spoolz come in or had Lone come in. That's my opinion. I tell people, if you don't like that, that's cool. Kick
And that's
rocks.
the way you feel.
That's the way I feel.
I guess I really need to add that one, don't I?
Yeah, you need that one. Yeah. So, and I was like, I sat in the car.
Probably
I was like,
circle of life too.
yeah, circle life.
Yeah, those two, yeah.
So I sat in the car and I was like, you know what? I patted myself on the back because in most instances, people want you to act stupid. They want you to get riled up. They want you to yell and scream and be that person. I don't handle things like that. I'm too old for that. We grown. I'd just rather cut you up correctly, properly. I'm gonna go above you, and we're gonna bring light to it the correct way. I'm not gonna be an asshole or a jerk. That's not my style. I don't do that. So I go on Twitter and I told the story. I paraphrased, only had 140 characters, so I left out the part about somebody watching me, the trash customer service, all that, and got right to the point about the siren. So I tagged Five Below and I told him, I said, I felt very uncomfortable. This was trash customer service, and y'all need to know about it. I put her employee number up there. I did all that. And I say that to say, this is not about this young lady losing her job or getting fired. She might have kids. I'm not here for that. But I'm here for conversation. I'm here for awareness. And I'm here for people to understand that you have to be cognizant of the people that are around you when you're in customer service. You don't know how somebody might react. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell Lone what it's like to be in his 30s growing up in Anderson. But I can tell you what it's like being black in my 30s growing up in Anderson. We're good friends, best friends. We grew up in two different areas. But I saw a set of things that he didn't see. So it'd be wrong of me to tell him how he should feel about certain things because I didn't see that.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I told them, and they said they were going to reach out to me. They asked for my email address. But I don't care if people think I overreacted because me as a black man, I've been through certain things that people won't be able to relate to. He probably can relate to what I've been through growing up. It's little stuff. It's subtle stuff. I'm not saying it's over the top. I'm not comparing it to slavery. None of that dumb shit I saw people trying to post. It's not about that. It's about understanding that certain people have been through certain things and you don't know what may trigger someone.
It's the context.
It's the context. You have to keep everything in the context. And I told Lone, he was like, yeah, man, like, what's up? I said, the part I left out was a part about how she kind of watched me when I came into the store and in the trash customer service, and it clicked. He's like, oh, I see what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy, man. Like, I want people to understand that we still have some work to do. I think sometimes we fall under a false sense of everything's all right. You know what I'm saying? I want everything to be all right, but I also don't want to lie to myself and say everything's peachy.
There's no point in putting on blinders and acting like these things don't exist, because that's what a lot of people do.
Facts.
They like to just sweep it under the rug and act like it doesn't exist.
Nah.
And then when it happens, they want to act surprised about it or want to kind of undermine you and your character on how you reacted to it.
Exactly.
Just because you decide not to pay attention to it.
Exactly.
But it's real out here. So
it's real.
If I decide to pay attention, that doesn't give you the right to tell me not to or to pay attention to it this way rather than how you paid attention to it.
Right.
So, I mean, I feel you.
Yeah, like it's, we've always talked about race on this show. You guys have always been open to, you know what I'm saying, the perspective that I would have or Terry would have, and vice versa. We've done the same for you guys. So I just wanted to put that in context for you guys because I know you saw the post and Spoolz asked for some context as well. But that's the way I took it, bro.
Mm-hmm. That knowing, like, I walked in here and at first what I had said, because I didn't know the following around part and the watching you part
it's
beforehand.
It's eyes. It's not literal in a literal sense. It's just every time I look up, you looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel that. I'm not stupid. I understand what that means.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
But what I had said at first was, just knowing the siren part, I was like, oh, my dad used to say that to me when we'd hear a siren, you know what I mean, or something like that. But then knowing and then getting the context, which I also said too, I was like, I want to get more context. And Sean told me, and then you kind of reiterated when you got here. But I was sitting here when you were telling that story, thinking about, what you were saying and along the lines of what Terry was saying too. Like, do you guys think that what this requires is just more empathy on an individual's part? I feel like
I think it requires sometimes for people to just listen rather than trying to. People's problem a lot today is trying to put together a picture without even having the utensils to draw with, for just as an idea. They want to take what you said and pretty much create their own image of what happened.
That's why I don't care that much for social media in general, because it happens every day,
all the time, and it's like, why can't you just sit back and take it for what it is and try to understand his point of view rather than giving your point of view as to how you would have reacted. Hindsight's 20/20. You have an opportunity to come up with how you're going to react,
right?
Because it didn't happen to you in real time,
right?
So you can sit there and formulate how you're going to act,
right,
on that keyboard, and bring other people in too. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
If I'm telling you how I felt, why don't you just try to understand why I feel this way, rather than giving your side of, oh, well, I would have did it like this, or you know what I'm saying?
So how do you make that change though?
Well, I was going to say a lot of times that's because, especially from a white person's point of view, a lot of times we just assume that everybody has the same experience as us, especially if we're ignorant. Mm-hmm. So we'll just be like, well, I've been through that, but if I don't have those experiences,
then you haven't been through it.
But if we go through the same experience and I don't know any better, and I don't understand the differences between black and white in America and stuff like that, then I'm going to think that. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of times I think it might be a little bit of empathy. I think it might be a little bit of just being able to listen. Mm-hmm. Like not having to be right.
Yeah.
Not, it's a learned trait,
It definitely is learned.
Not everybody knows how to listen. You know, most people wait to speak.
It's a skill to listen.
And it is a skill.
It's a skill to listen.
So
I'm talking about active listening, like literally listening, not waiting to speak. Those are two different things.
Yeah.
Like when you actively listen, you're actually trying to get something from what someone's saying, and then you can make a rebuttal or make a comment based on.
That's where wisdom comes from,
like wisdom.
Like it's just listening to people and without having a stake in it yourself.
I had to learn the hard way too. I was that person like a while, like back in the day. The phrase "you should," is very, very powerful, and that's a slippery slope because I had to learn and realize I don't know what someone necessarily should do because I haven't been through what they've been through.
Yep.
Their experience.
Now, my opinion amongst conversation, like we're just talking about experiences or whatever, and you ask me for my opinion on what you may do or how you may approach it. That's different from me saying this is what you should do. Especially if I'm from the outside looking in and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you a prime example. There are conversations and things that you and Spoolz could talk about that I feel pretty comfortable saying me and Terry and I might not know what the hell you guys are talking about. And I'm talking about from a childhood to adulthood standpoint. There are certain things that we just simply might not be able to relate to. I'd be stupid to be like, yo, Lone, you should have tackled that a certain way, or you shouldn't have done that, or you shouldn't have done this. Who am I to tell you that? Especially when I can't relate to what you may have been through. And I'm talking about from a family standpoint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can break it down simple as households, 2-parent, 1-parent, like all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
There's certain stuff you're not gonna be able to relate to. You know what I mean? Like I just see it that way. It took me a while to get that way, but that's real. You got to be careful when you tell people what they should do, not knowing what they've been through.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Word.
real.
Agree.
I agree.
So, we'll see. They said they were going to reach out to me. Again, I'm not trying to – I want her to use this as a learning tool, and I want it to be conversation. I'm not trying to get anybody to not be able to feed their family. I'm not here for that. But to me, conversation is healthy. I want you to be aware. I want you to remember and learn from your mistakes. We just going to leave it at that. But moving on, Spoolz, we brought up we talked about Halloween, right?
Mm-mm.
You don't want to do that?
No, I said we did not. I thought you said.
I'm talking about pre-show. I'm sorry.
Yes,
pre-show.
we did pre-show.
We talked about experiences or whatever.
Halloween. What are we talking about?
Can I get that clock right quick?
Yeah, we probably should go to some music.
You want to go right to music?
This Halloween thing kind of short because this is
We
going
got
to air
20
after
minutes.
Halloween anyway.
Huh?
Yeah.
This is going to air after Halloween.
All right.
Well,
But y'all
Sorry.
can talk about Halloween.
Sorry, man.
Since it's your
Terry
favorite.
didn't want to talk
No
about
That's
worries.
not what I
Halloween.
said at all.
It's okay.
That's not what I said.
Bro, it's all right.
That's not what I said.
We respect your opinion.
Nope.
it's gonna be all right.
That's not what I said.
Let's get into some music, man.
Did I say that though?
Hey, Spoolz. Hey, Terry didn't want. Hey, stop, Spoolz. Terry didn't want to talk about Halloween. Okay.
No.
I was
just
actively
said-
listening, and I
I
didn't
would-
hear you say
all
that.
I
mention
was
Halloween.
saying
Spoolz
was that we have
Stop.
to keep it brief
Spoolz, don't mention
in light
Halloween.
of time.
All right.
That's
Yes, sir.
all
I
I
got
was
it.
saying.
Got it.
Tell your Halloween
Don't
story,
say it.
Spoolz.
Nobody say Halloween.
Tell your
So
story,
Big
man.
K.R.I.T put an album out.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do this.
No, I've
Longevity.
I've
Don't
listened-
do this, man.
I've listened to about 75% of it so far.
Terry, he's gonna be that guy, man.
No, I don't think he's gonna do it.
All right.
He's not gonna pull the trigger.
Just be cool, man. Be cool on this one.
Laying the cut.
You don't want me to buy onion? You don't
No.
want me to be onions?
I don't want.
No onions?
I don't want you to give me the.
Just laying the cut, fam.
Yeah, just laying the cut on this one. I don't need the Wu-Tang review on this one. I don't need that. I can't take that right now.
The Wu-Tang review was onions as well.
I don't know, man. I don't want you to do that to K.R.I.T though.
Well, we have to be
Well, there's a disclaimer.
we
that
have
goes
to
along
be
with that.
we have to be
Yeah,
an equal
true.
opportunity
Yes.
reviewer.
Yes.
I'm just saying what he was gonna say prior to us shooting this show
Oh,
is
yeah.
invalid because
'Cause I
he
haven't heard
really
it.
hasn't heard
yeah.
it. So
Absolutely, and I agree with that.
Well said. Well
Yeah.
said.
yeah.
Well, I've heard it.
Oh, have you?
I hate him.
did you hear it or did you hear it?
Active listening. I
Good.
actually listened to it.
Sounds like
Did you listen to Jimmy
that sounds like
I
or
can
did
hear
you
Jimmy.
hear
I
Or
it?
you just
can-
hearing Jimmy.
that
Yeah.
actually sounds like a K.R.I.T song.
Yeah.
Did you hear it, or did you just listen?
Yeah, that was
See,
it.
sneak,
That was the
he
other way
low
around.
key
Yeah.
sneak this and no.
Nah, I don't see that.
Or
Uh,
yeah, did you? Yeah.
I don't know about that. I
Lone-
think he's a
Lone
K.R.I.T fan
sneaky.
though.
He
He's a
is.
K.R.I.T fan.
No.
I like K.R.I.T.
no.
I like K.R.I.T.
Let me school you though. No, I got to put you on game. He, of course, he's a K.R.I.T fan. He's great knowledge of music. He's a great music connoisseur. I get all that, but he is very, very sneaky. You got to watch him.
Nah, I
man.
know his
You gotta
troll
watch-
game.
Okay, all right, that's all I'm saying. You got to watch him, man.
It's too early for the hook, Mike.
You see his eyebrows? You
Yeah.
got to watch him, man. You got to watch him, man.
Yeah, I know his troll game as
Okay.
well as yours.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, we've had this conversation. There's y'all's troll games are different.
Troll J Simpson.
Yeah,
Remember?
you remember that?
I think that was a
Might have
pre-
been like episode 20, maybe. I don't
ish.
You
20-ish.
forget already?
No, I ain't forget.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think you said they
Yeah.
were different, but
know.
they.
Yeah, I got the breakdown. It's,
I guess my only beef was you said they were different, but
they
my
absolutely are.
intentions were worse than his. You somehow it turned into that, but we cool. I'm good with
It's
that.
just different, man.
It's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool. But back to K.R.I.T though.
Shout out to Grits. Yeah.
Did you like the first half or the second half better? I'm gonna ask y'all that,
ooh,
I personally like the second half.
and that's
See,
the part I haven't heard yet.
I think I'm
So.
gonna go second half, but the
Yeah.
joint with T.I. is on the first half.
It
See,
is.
this
Getaways
this
on the
is my
first half.
thing.
I think the
though.
joint with Bun B is on the first half too.
Yeah,
I
It was
think.
okay. I didn't like
I,
it as
um,
much
I like that
as I
one.
wanted to.
I
but it
listened
was
to
good.
the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I ran it 3 times.
That thing is banging.
It's nice, but since it's a double album, naturally I'm going to pay attention more to those earlier songs.
Me too.
And then other things are going to happen, and I'm going to kind of miss what's going on in that second half of that album.
Yep.
And that's my fair assessment. I think the album is good.
It's very good.
I do. I think the production is good on it. I think the message is clear. The content is dope.
Is it as good as you hoped and thought it would be?
Especially with it being a double album, it actually exceeded what I thought it was going to be.
It exceeded my double album expectations.
He's got from what I've heard so far, and I haven't jumped into the second half. I knew the second half was going to be more
meat and potatoes.
I knew it was going to be more of that. I knew that I was going to like that more, but the first half seemed to cover the spectrum of music to play out, to listen to more of the poppy side in general, I guess.
More related to the trap side of things.
Yeah. Well, I suppose, and I like a lot of those songs on there. There's just a couple that I weren't really feeling, but I felt like they were good for what they were, though.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? But anyway,
I've listened to it, the whole thing, twice all the way through. I went up to South Bend over the weekend, so I got a chance to listen to it twice.
Yeah.
But then I've ran a number of songs on the second disc back, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 times. And those are towards the end of the second disc. But no, I'm happy with it, man. I was really looking forward to it, and the first disc is good. I don't want to say it isn't. I like it as well. But there's a couple jams on there, and this is the same with any artist I like a lot that I just don't like as much, as the other ones. And to Sean's point, they're still good for what they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just not. I would rather listen to the second disc. K.R.I.T has this ability, man, in a lot of his music to be extremely personal.
I like that.
And do it in a really dope way, man. And the older I get, the more I like that about music. That's why I liked the 444 album. I'm not a huge
that's
Jay-Z
like the
fan.
roots of old soul music and old blues music were very personal.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Kendrick's DNA album is very personal.
Yep.
The second disc, the whole album, but the second disc especially for K.R.I.T's new one is very personal, I feel like.
I chuckled earlier because we keep saying first and second disc.
They
And
have
I
no
just
idea
wish-
what that feels like. They have no idea what
that's
that
a
feels
good
like.
point.
I actually wish that I had the actual double CD on hand, and I could have popped that first one in, let it ride, and then popped the second one.
I'm a music
in.
nerd, though. I've always been the person that got excited about the booklet.
Yeah.
Who produced it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who
The
were the
samples and all
songwriters,
of
the
that.
sample clearance?
Who
Who did that?
Even when I was writing the post when it came out, I had paused when I was like, should I put disc 1 and disc 2? Or should I break it in between sections? Because,
think
it's
it's
the
so
Big
funny
K.R.I.T and
that
the
we're saying
Justin Scott.
Yeah.
It's
portions,
beyond outdated now. Like, you don't hear people say, yeah, man,
that's on the
disc
first
2
LP.
was cold, though.
Yeah.
That's
You
on
know
the
what I'm
first
saying?
side of the
Yeah,
tape.
the first side of the tape was
Side
cold.
2.
Man.
Yeah, like, All Eyes on Me, one eye on one side, one on the other. Like, the double disc for Wu-Tang, the yellow and the black flipped. You know what I mean? Like, they put thought into that.
World Excited.
Yeah, man.
Double LP.
I think I've adjusted my headphones like 50 times.
Yeah, me
Can
too,
you
man.
count that?
I haven't been counting, but I've been noticing.
Thanks, jerk.
We're gonna put a ding, 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 ding
Every
ding,
single time.
ding, ding, ding.
Don't
yeah.
Every time Mike reaches up to grab his
Don't
headphones.
do
It's
that.
gonna be like TMZ.
He'll do it.
The whole
So be
video
like-
will just stop and it'll be like ding. And
So
then
right
it'll
now
stop
when you're
again.
listening, every time you hear that ding, that's what that's for.
Mm.
Yeah, or maybe not.
Y'all enjoy that. But no, man, I think K.R.I.T, I always tell people, man, K.R.I.T's gonna take me from church to the strip club.
Keep the devil out.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To his,
Dope song.
his nightstand. Like, dude just covers, and we always talk about lit. People always talk about lit. Like, the album is lit while doing that.
Well,
From
you
a
gotta-
production
you gotta-
standpoint, from
Okay.
all that's still there. Like, it's
I'm
not
thinking
boring.
of some G stuff when you talking about lit. I thought you was talking about like literature. I was like, I don't think he's talking about any like Vice Lord and folk stuff on this album.
All right.
I do like the fact that he
Shout out
started
to-
the
shout out
second
to
the second
Gangbang.
disc
I'm
out
just
with an
saying.
instrumental.
Yeah.
Like that was a
Shout
cool.
out to gangbanging out here. Clearly.
That was the original lit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't want to do that though.
I'm sorry, that's where I went. I'm old
No, you
school.
good.
Yeah,
cool.
shout out to gangbanging. What you say?
I was talking about the intersectionalism of.
What?
No, I said I like the fact that he started the second half with the instrumental of the project.
Oh, that was dope. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was just like
70 soul.
That was real
soul
southern
music.
of him to do that, though.
Yeah, it was soulful, man.
Yeah.
Like you used to hear that on like
Like
OJ's
think
albums
about
or something
that
like
too,
that.
but like remember what stuck out to me. This is what made me a big Outkast fan. They always had that joint on the album.
Don't shake the table now. We like
breakdown.
Outkast too.
Okay, it's okay.
Okay.
It didn't hit you in the face. I recall on one episode, I damn near got hit in the face.
I was worried about Spoolz.
I think he's fine.
Okay.
He can maneuver. But anyway, Outkast always gave you that soulful instrumental joint that was just gonna ride, and if you had the beat in your car, it was gonna rattle the trunk and all of that.
We do random.
Can't just say, can't want to wait, 'cause baby,
We do random stuff on here. You know, sometimes we get derailed.
Yeah.
I'm putting you on the spot as a Outkast fan. You're probably
Okay.
big as out. We probably the same level of Outkast. I love
don't know.
Outkast.
I
You might be
have
more than me. ATL is his top 5 album ever for me. That's just me. But 13th Floor or Liberation. I need it out of you. I need that. As an Outkast fan, I need that.
I heard Liberation live.
That's not what I asked you.
I know.
I need 13th Floor or Liberation.
baby, I want it.
Don't listen to him. 13th Floor.
You know what
I
he came
think
in with?
13th floor. This is the thing. 13th floor was soulful on another level.
Hey, but the instrumentation on Liberation, though,
I know.
and they cheated. They had Badu in there, CeeLo.
But-
So it's kind of not fair, low key.
Well, here I like Outkast
But if
a
we're
lot
talking
too.
about
I
if
go-
we're talking
I go
about soulful
Liberation.
joints, yeah, I don't know. I can't really say it. Depending on
Who's
what day
this?
of the week it is.
Who's this Outkast group?
But I
you
like
Yeah, who's
Funky
this?
I
Ride.
feel like I'm racial
might have heard a
profiling
song.
right now. I'm sorry,
I
Spoolz.
like Funky Ride, and I like Stank Love too, though.
Liberation or the 13th Floor,
I'm
sir.
not gonna make
I will
that
go to
decision.
Spoolz. All right, Spoolz. Liberation.
I like Liberation.
Okay.
More than, but I hear what Terry's saying. They're different, soulfully different.
Depends on what
sure.
day of the week it
But
is.
if
It
you
also
had-
depends on what season it is.
But if
I
you
like
had to-
Outkast because they're like they have one of the best intros of all. The AT Aliens intro, "You May Die," is one of. It's short, but it's
Yeah.
Did you
really
guys hear
good.
what Stack said about Big Boy? He said he's
It's okay to
He's
be
a
wrong.
He's a better
he's a
rapper.
better
than
rapper
him.
because he
Yeah, I
can
mean,
do
he's
the
humble.
battle stuff and all that. I laughed out loud
He
when
sat
you said
down
that,
and,
but
and
I
he's
fooled with
being
Big Boy.
humble.
I laughed out loud when I
Yeah,
said
it's
that.
cool.
They're not even close. No, let me take that back. Big Boy is dope, but when I think about Stacks compared to Big Boy, is Fonte and
Pooh.
Big Pooh. But maybe the disparity is not
Damn.
as big.
I don't
I
think.
don't know.
I don't think it's that big at
No.
all.
It's not
I don't
as big.
understand. There are people I know that don't like Big. I know
Big people
Boy's
that don't like Andre.
Big
Yeah.
Boy's cold though.
I don't get. I really.
So
I think Big Boy is,
Big Boy's
Dope.
dope.
Yeah.
and those two together.
They make magic, man. Like
Yeah.
it's undeniable. I just don't think he's the level of MC that 3 Stacks is. That's just
You know what's funny too? Outkast used to talk about the trap a lot in their albums
yeah.
and their songs, and the whole trap thing became a whole movement.
They
Like we got
did.
some new trap albums that came out this past week too.
Never talk to strangers in the trap and answer questions.
Hey,
Wisdom.
Wheels of Steel, man.
Wheels of Steel.
wonder why they call it the trap, because it's just that.
Trapped.
Trap.
Yep. I sampled that
Go on and
once.
marinate on that for a minute.
Him saying trapped. I cut that up in some song.
Yeah, man. They that was dope. I think he was just giving him his just due, and that's actually dope for Andre to give him his just due, because there are a lot of people that see it differently. I'm not the one that says, my dude Nate G. Shout out to my dude Nate Jeezy. He's in DC. He's the opposite. Like he's as passionate about Big Boy in terms of a skill standpoint versus me and 3 Stacks.
Is that the dude that was saying that Outkast wasn't great?
No, that's my dude PA.
And he's the guy that doesn't like Big Boy, right?
PA hates Outkast.
That's
period.
crazy.
Like he hates Big Boy. He hates Outkast. He
PA,
always
if you're watching, I don't know you,
good brother though. That's my guy. It's a good dude.
but just from not knowing you, I probably can't mess with you. But since Mike messes with you, you probably got to be
He's a good
a
brother,
somewhat
man.
okay guy.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
So I would still give you a chance. So if we out somewhere rocking,
Y'all can have a conversation.
yeah, we can have a conversation.
He ain't a sucker now. He's
nah.
not a lame.
I'm
Who you
not
talking
saying
about?
that.
Yeah, he just it's just his music opinion is trash when it comes to Outkast. And that's my guy. He just trash when it comes to Outkast.
That's what I'm saying. I can.
PA,
If you
from the
co-signing him,
yes.
if you co-signing him, then he must be cool. But I had just seen that conversation and kind of did something to me.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that conversation.
Yeah, I was
Trash.
like, who is this dude?
When it comes to Outkast, PA is he. You remember that song by the Whispers? Lost and turned out. He's gone. Olivia. Lost and turned out.
Who sampled Lost and Turned Out?
Man, you got me there.
Somebody did though.
PA is Lost and Turned Out.
That's crazy. But some other new music came out this week too.
I hope we edit this so you can see this too. By the way,
Some other new music.
Yes, other new music. The Mayhem Loren project with DJ Muggs dropped.
Yep.
Talk about it, Spool.
I bought that one as well. It's really good, man. It's that same kind of, I don't know, grimier New York hip hop.
I didn't get the West Side Gun yet. I wanna check him out.
You
too.
check that out as well. But no, Muggs produced it, the whole project. It's 11 tracks, I think.
Slept on.
Features include Sean Price, Action Bronson,
Rest in peace, Sean Price.
Conway, Rock Marciano, Benny the Butcher. So it's a dope project, man. I like it a lot.
Word.
California group Overdose dropped their album.
Okay.
Which has been bubbling for a long time. Like they had singles since 2015
Shout to
that are featured on this album. But they dropped an album. Who else? K.R.I.T, of course. Ruben Vincent, who is on he's on 𝗲𝗓. Mm-hmm. He dropped an album.
He's like 16, right?
Is he that young?
He's young, man. 16, 17 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. He's got
Gotti dropped the joint.
Yo Gotti.
Yeah, I listened to that one.
Yeah.
He got some joints on there. I like Yo Gotti. Yeah. He's my favorite music artist from Memphis.
Then 21 Savage and Offset.
I'm straight.
Dropped I'm just being fair.
No, be fair. I ain't gonna listen to it, but
it's cool.
To each his own.
It's cool. It's
21.
You know what? I'll take that back. I'm not gonna be the grumpy old man. I'm gonna listen because I listened to Lil Yachty album, so I can at least listen to this one. So
Without warning.
You know what album I want to listen to? I know you listened to it. I still haven't listened to it. 𝗏𝗏𝗏.
I mean, this.
I mean, we kind of talked about it though. Like I did listen to it, but he actually said that he got out of his deal with I think Atlantic or something.
He had $6 million on the table. Yeah.
And he got out of it and he said he's not dropping any music for a long, long time. But just in light of the things that he had been through or was going through and that he allegedly did, I kind of wasn't rocking with him like that. But, I mean, I'm not going to say that it was a whack album. Mm-hmm. I feel like it was unfinished. A lot of the songs weren't.
So they were short, right?
Yeah, they were very short.
I need to check it out, man. Just to give it a listen.
Yeah.
You know, I try to listen to everything, you know.
Yeah, I even listened to Lil Pump's new album.
I want to hear.
He repeats a lot of words.
I want to hear Gucci's album. I didn't hear Mr.
I still need to
Davis
listen.
yet.
I listened to
that one. I need to listen to Gucci's album.
You said you liked it. Yeah.
It was decent.
Yeah.
I rock with healthy Gucci. You know what I'm saying? He married. Shout out to them. Congratulations.
Ty Dolla $ign dropped a new one too.
There's a lot of music that came out.
You said you wasn't rocking with him though.
But I'll give it a shot though.
I don't care for Ty Dolla $ign.
I think he's talented. No, it's not him. It's Travis Scott is the one I think that is talented.
He's on that 21 Savage Offset.
Okay. Metro Boomin.
He's got a lot of energy, Travis Scott.
I'll try to stomach that one.
And then last week,
it's lit.
Future and Young Thug dropped. What is it called? More Slime or?
I'm straight on slime.
I don't know. I listen to that one too. I try to listen to everything.
Listen Slimer.
Yeah. I listen to everything a little bit.
I'm straight on
some
slime.
stuff I don't let it ride all the way through, but I definitely try to give everything a chance.
I gotta start saying that more. It's just not gonna make it all the way through, but I'll still listen to it.
That's how I
like
felt
how that sound.
about Jeffrey.
I listened to Jeffrey.
I had a number of people that were like, "This album's good" or whatever, and I went and listened to it. I couldn't.
I tried it though. I listened to Jeffrey. I made it all
the whole
way.
Thing?
Yeah, I almost.
Who's Jeffrey?
Jeffrey is Young Thug's album from a year or two ago.
When he had the dress
he had the Raiden outfit on.
It was a dress.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Big
it was
hat.
a dress.
He was spitting lightning.
But I did listen to Yachty's joint, man. I made it through.
Yachty's joint was trash.
It was trash, but he had like one joint I like. I can't remember what it was, but it's cool. Like
shit, no, man.
Yeah,
it was dumpster juice.
Hey man,
dumpster juice.
I'm at this point where I'm like, all right, man. The kids are having fun. I don't care about the talent.
Some of them got some cool stuff.
I don't care that.
Like I would say, okay, so Uzi Vert dropped dropped a joint too. Then you got 𝗏𝗄𝘄. I don't know if y'all are hip to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I heard of him before.
He
Yeah,
dropped something. He's not as important or
Amazing.
not as out here like Uzi Verse, but 𝗏𝗄𝘄's album was better than Uzi Verse.
I'm straight on Uzi Vert.
I mean, I'm not about to ride around. I've had this conversation with my nephew.
That's cool. I mean,
And
hey,
he rocks with them, but
let the kids
I mean,
have fun, man. That's what they tell me. So
That's
fuck
what
let
it
them have
is.
fun.
hip hop transitions and stages, and
It does.
It
I'm just
leaves
gonna-
people here and there.
I'm just
At
gonna-
least it's not as bad as. Did y'all see when L Brown went live talking about the
How people
Griselda
react
show?
to the Griselda show.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
Yeah,
I
Sean
talked to
told
him,
me about that.
I talked to him about that. He was hurt. He was like, "Yo, I was really, really." You know what I'm saying? Like,
he said they was booing him.
yes.
Yeah.
Him and my dude. Shout out to my dude Gino from the Bigs in Chicago.
That's whack.
He follows the Cubs and the
That is
Bulls.
whack.
They were there and they I saw them commenting on his live feed, like they were just blown away that people were looking at them like they were stupid from spitting like Conway bars and stuff. Like, what are y'all listening to this dude? Who is this dude?
They're on the tour.
They're headlining. It's not like a
Right.
Co-headliner.
yeah, co-headlining. It's not like they're just there.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
You copped the ticket, like you had to know.
They old.
Oh, sorry. Well,
They want to hear Money, Power, and Respect 19 times in a row.
I like Griselda, so I'll fucks with Griselda.
Yeah, no doubt.
Episode 53, that is going to do it for us. We are the new old heads, Lonegevity, DJ Jay Diff, DJ Spoolz. Shout out to Coleman Dental, 317-255-8546. Get your teeth is right. Printfinity, no bad ideas. Shout out to the Oddities line. You know what to do on the website, bringingdowntheband.com. Our Patreon is there as well. Tons of good stuff that we are planning, and we will see you next week. Peace.
Holler.
Salud.